Hi everyone, this is Monique Sugimoto with History on the Hill. We want to remind everybody to watch History on the Hill with RPV TV, and in case you miss an episode, you can always watch it at palosverdeshistory.org. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of History on the Hill. I'm Monique Sugimoto, the archivist and local history librarian with the Palos Verdes Library District. And again, this time we are in studio with my co-host, Maria Sorreo.
I'm just her sidekick, that's it. Just her sidekick for this.
Great, it's wonderful to be back, and I'm so happy that we're doing this, and I'm so thankful that RPV TV will do this for us, because it's really fun to come here and to bring our little wares, and just to kind of share the history of the peninsula with people.
We love it. We love having you here, and you know, this is all about Well of a Day because it's the Well of a Day anniversary, 40 years.
Yep.
And so we're so excited that you brought so much fun stuff for us to talk about.
Right, and today our theme is whale.
Yes.
And whales, whaling, presence of whales on the peninsula. And you may see that we have a special guest.
We have a friend here.
We have a friend here today, and our friend is a whale fossil that our previous local history archivist, Tennessee Gardner, donated to us. She is no longer with us. People remember her probably from the architecture episode that we did at the library. She has gone on to greener pastures, but she has left with us a whale fossil, so she will always be with us.
Do we know what part of the whale this is?
You know, I don't. She didn't tell me what part of the whale it was.
It's so heavy, though.
Yeah.
Very, very heavy.
Yeah, and it has, and she even gave us this little stand.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
But it's so neat.
It is neat
to have a fossil, and so this will be in the local history center if people want to come and visit.
Very nice.
Our little whale.
Did you name the whale fossil?
I haven't named the whale fossil. Maybe we can do a little contest.
Maybe that would be fun.
Maybe RPV TV can do a little contest.
You know what? Yes, email us or let us know. Call the library and say, hey, we want to name the whale fossil. I love that.
Perfect. Love it.
That's awesome.
Yes. So one thing before we start on the whales, I wanted to show you something that I found in the local history center when I was preparing for this.
Okay.
Now, last episode, we did an episode where we focused on Don Wallace and his radio ranch.
Right.
And lo and behold, in one of the scrapbooks that I found that was donated by the city of RPV, by the way, to the local history center, was this picture of Don Wallace.
Wow.
So here he is, and this was at the dedication of for the lighthouse.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, he came and they took a picture of him and put him in the scrapbook, which I thought was really fun.
That is.
And the other person that we talked about at that time was Paul Conrad,
yes,
the sketch artist.
That's right.
Now, this was a lot of fun, and maybe we can even do an episode on this.
This would be really fun, yes.
Yes, don't you think? Mm-hmm. So there was an effort to get a city logo. There were people who wanted to have the heart of the cattle brand in it, and other people did not want to have that cattle brand in it. The city ended up hiring somebody to create a new logo, and this is the logo. So this is Dottie's handwriting, the person who created the scrapbooks, and so she wrote in there Paul Conrad, but I haven't been able to confirm that Paul did that, but I just thought it was kind of fun because we talked about Paul Conrad in our last episode.
And it's just so interesting how one logo may have evolved into the one we have now.
Exactly, yes. And what was really interesting about this one, well, we can do a whole show on it.
Yeah, definitely.
The person created this to kind of signify all of the important aspects of the city. So you have the ocean, you have your green space, and you have the views.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have heard that over and over and over
for
again.
Many
so this
years,
is just so much fun to be able to see this.
Very nice, very
so
nice.
That's just a little follow-up on that.
Okay.
And so our first part of whales.
Our whale story.
Our whale story.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Our whale story.
Yes.
Is that actually there was a whaling station on the peninsula.
Okay.
And the first note that we have of the whaling station, actually, well, not one of the first, but one that we actually have with photographs, comes from the weather books that we have that were created in 1913.
Wow.
And in the book, there is actually the station, the whale watching station, right here. So it's the old whaling station, which talks about it, the old buildings, the doorways into the huts, and then it also shows the blubber kettle at the old whaling station.
So really, people have been watching whales in this area for over 100 years.
Exactly, because this actually was back into the 1800s when the whaling station was here. And by the way, there is actually a plaque at the entrance to the Portuguese Bend Club right there for the whaling station. So the Historical Society actually did that. So I would invite everybody to take a look at it. And what is interesting is that you can see the kettle.
Yes.
Can I put it up here maybe?
Sure.
Do you think we can see it? And
Absolutely.
if not,
we
I can show you
put it up
later.
later, yeah.
But here is the blubber kettle right here. You can see it right
Fascinating.
there. And that's where they actually boil down all of the
whale blubber,
The
right?
whale blubber, exactly.
And they
that's
use
what
that for different things.
For different purposes, exactly. So there is the kettle. And on this side, you can kind of see that it's kind of browned over there.
Yeah.
That's because there was this newspaper article noting that somebody stole one of the blubber kettles.
Wow.
Yes. So this whole article on the side here is about theft of the blubber kettle. But just kind of fun to see that we actually
Yes.
have it documented.
From so long ago.
From so long ago.
That is fascinating.
A whaling station. So we had a whaling station. And then our next kind of entry, or
Yes.
our chapter, is of course
Marineland.
You have
My
the
favorite
folder.
place.
Exactly. You have the folder.
Well, you just told me a story that Marineland, people were watching whales from Marineland. That was back in the late 60s, 70s
That was in
probably,
the
right?
70s, yeah.
Okay.
So apparently there was a whale watching station
Yeah.
at Long Point and also Marineland. So that's where they were kind of doing the censuses. So, I mean, it's just so interesting that it
certainly
is there.
is.
That, whale watching has been going on for so long here
Right.
on the peninsula. And, the story of the whales, as we see with the materials that you're looking through there for
Yes.
Marineland, it's just amazing.
It is, and of course we have the census takers that are at PVIC,
Right.
And here they were doing that at Marineland.
They were doing it at Marineland, apparently.
Wow.
Or according to the newspaper article,
yeah.
it says that they were doing at Marineland for the last 5 seasons at Marineland, and that was in 1980. So the
Okay.
article was 1985, so if we do the math, it was in 1980 that they were actually doing that over
Wow.
at Marineland.
It's
Yes.
amazing. I love how much fun stuff that you have from Marineland, from just brochures and just fun things to watch. And of course, Orky and Corky were the
Right.
famous whales from Marineland.
Yeah.
And everybody just loved going there to watch them and see them perform.
Exactly, and in there, I think you even have
we go.
do you have the
There's
menus?
a big whale one.
Yeah, do you have yeah, that's a really good one.
It
Killer
really
whale.
is. Yes.
And there's the postcards.
Yes.
And I don't think that one has it, but let me show you the one that I have over here.
Okay.
Actually has the story of Bubbles.
Bubbles the whale.
The whale. So, and this is the official story of Bubbles the whale. And so you can go through it, and it talks about Bubbles coming over, and how Bubbles got here.
Was Bubbles the whale that they had was that at Marineland? Is
It
that
was
right?
at Marineland, yeah.
Yes, they created the sculpture.
Yes, there was the sculpture
Yes.
for Bubbles, exactly,
Wow.
which was the representative sculpture
Yes.
at Marineland.
That
And-
we have here somewhere.
And we have here in the city park, don't we?
Yes, we do.
I think Bubbles is on its
Bubbles
side.
is still around
Yes.
somewhere.
Yes, and there was an effort to get Bubbles, the
Fixed.
statue,
Up.
fixed and
Yes.
perhaps posted somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes, over at PBS.
That would be fun.
Yep.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that is, so what do you have there?
So much stuff. I mean, killer whale fact sheet, which I love. A female killer whale calf born on Friday, June 18th, 1982 at 3:20 a.m.
Right.
Can you imagine having a baby
Yeah.
400 pounds at birth?
Right. And that is what I like about that
I
flyer.
love this.
Is that they're talking about why they're not having any more, or why they're putting a pause on the program with the whales. It's because the parents have a new baby that they need to take care of.
They need to take care of their baby.
They needed to take care of
I
the
love
baby.
that.
Yes.
I love that. I mean, this was just such a
Yes.
huge part of the peninsula, and the fact that people just loved it so much, and the whales have really been beloved here for so long.
So long.
You know, and when Whale of the Day started, it was because of the gray whale migration,
Right.
and I just think that is such a cool thing. I mean, the museum was built around that, the
Yep.
history, and just the
Exactly.
fact that the whales have meant so much to the peninsula.
They have been a big part of the
Huge.
peninsula.
Yeah.
And in fact, when I was going through some of the newspaper articles for today, there were several articles that noted there were street signs that said whale watching, and a direction.
way.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, exactly, to the center. Now, I don't think we have those still on the peninsula, but
Probably
there were
don't.
new signs.
Yeah.
There were signs that said, pointing people to the peninsula,
Now,
where the whales would
have
be.
you ever seen a whale?
I have.
You have?
I have. I've seen them off of the coast. So sometimes my husband and I walk to the interpretive center.
Okay.
But then once we took a boat and we went out through San Pedro.
Okay.
Amazing. Amazing. They just come right up to the boat.
Wow.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
it's magical almost, really.
It is magical. It's really magical to see.
Yes.
To see the whales out there. Yes.
That's
and the whale
that's pretty
census
cool.
and doing the whale census. But when we talk about whale watching, we of course have to recognize John Olguin.
Yes.
Right. So
absolutely.
that is one thing that we wanted to do. Now
Yes.
everybody knows that or has that picture of John Olguin. Now I don't have that one, but I did find him in the 1941
I love that.
yearbook.
In the yearbook.
In the yearbook, because yearbooks are always a big
I
thing.
love
with
the
us.
yearbooks.
I know.
It's so great. There we go.
Yeah, so here is his face. Yeah, John Olguin.
Back in the
Back in the
day.
day, 1941, San Pedro High School.
Little did he know.
Little did he know. But if you have ever heard about him, now I didn't know that much about John Olguin, but if you're in San Pedro,
Yeah.
he's really well known.
Very well known. We
I
could
mean-
do a whole show just on John Olguin.
Oh, you did?
No, we
Oh,
could.
yeah, we know. You
yeah.
totally could.
Yeah.
I mean, just
So much history.
I printed out from the Cabrillo Marine Aquarium. This was a remembrance that was created by his son, John
Wow.
Olguin, just kind of going over his history. But, just to say he had this career with the Los Angeles Department of Recreation and Parks from 1937 until his retirement in 1987.
Jeez,
I mean,
that's a long
he is
time.
kind of like the father of the whale watching kind of, I'm not going to say industry, but that whole effort. And it's really quite amazing that, just how much he was involved. Oh, yes, the quote is, he was the father of recreational whale watching,
Wow.
having organized the first boat trips for watching migrating whales in 1970 from Norm's Landing in San Pedro.
He must have really loved the whales.
Yes.
To be that committed for all of his life, really.
All of his life,
Yeah.
yes. And when you talk to people who knew him, I have to totally give a shout out to Diana McIntyre.
Yes.
Because Diana McIntyre, she did an entire video, and I'm going to send you the link to it because
Okay.
people might be interested in seeing
Sure.
it, of just what an influence he had on her life. It's really remarkable, I think. And of course, Diana went on to be with the docent program.
Right, yes,
with
at
Point Vicente
the Interpretive Center,
Yeah,
yes.
and so to see just his influence.
Huge.
On the peninsula, I just think that's extraordinary.
It's amazing. And the docents at PDIC, they're so committed to learning everything about the ocean, the whales, the land,
Yes.
the area. And they have so much knowledge, but they love it. They absolutely love it.
Yes. Well, and every year, and I've been doing this when Diana was part of it, and now Ann Zellers is the docent coordinator. The coordinators bring the docents in training because it's a 10-week course.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's not an insignificant.
No, they have
training
to be
piece.
committed to doing it.
They have to be committed to doing it, and then they have to commit the hours to, giving tours or
Right.
talking with the public. But they come to the local history room. And we talk about what projects that they're going to do because everybody has to write a project or
How
to do a
fun.
project. Yeah, and so I get to learn about what projects are coming up, and they want to know what types of resources the local history center has.
That's great.
Yeah, and we have, of course, all of the docent papers, so they come over to us so people can see those past docent papers as well.
Yeah, we love talking to the docents. They're amazing.
It is, and they're so dedicated and committed to working
Yes.
at the Interpretive Center.
Yeah, and you were mentioning the tours. I mean, they give kids tours
Yes.
and private tours, and it's just so amazing because some of the kids have never seen a whale, have never seen the ocean,
Have never seen the ocean.
Yes.
Yes.
And so they come in from different places, and they talk to all these amazing people, wealth of knowledge about this. So
Right.
it's pretty amazing.
It's pretty amazing, and this tradition of celebrating the whale
Right.
has been going on at the Interpretive Center
For many
since
years.
at least I think 1984, because 1984 is when the Interpretive Center opened.
Right. Yes. And I think 85 would make it 40 years to now.
Yes.
So yeah, it's pretty.
Yes,
It's
and
amazing.
if you look at the early articles about what they're going to have, I have some of the articles that that specify. So they were games and crafts and stuff, but it's really blossomed into this
Yes.
very big program.
Right.
Yeah.
And they still have games and crafts, but
Yeah.
many other things that I love the face painting the kids do. They put little whales on them.
Yeah.
And it's so cute.
And all of the community organizations that are there.
Yes, the library.
The library comes, and the
Right.
library will be there this year as well. So
Absolutely.
that's going to be kind of fun to
And the
have.
junior docents are always there too.
And the
so
junior docents, yeah.
They're docents in learning.
The whale, what is it
And
called? The
training.
whale cart or the
whale wagon.
The whale wagon, sorry.
Yes, the whale wagon will
It's
be
not
there.
a cart, it's a wagon.
Yeah.
Yes, the whale wagon will be there, and I just think that's so much fun.
It really is.
It's really,
It's a fun day.
it is a fun day.
What I love is sometimes we have a chance to talk to some of the people that come to Whale of a Day.
Yes.
And I'll say, you know, are you from the area? And they're not. They
Yeah.
come from elsewhere, other cities, and they're like, this is so much fun. We're so glad we, you know, found this.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
It's a pretty unique part of the peninsula.
It is. It really
and
is.
It's kind of like that kickoff of, you know, the different community activities that happen
Right.
throughout the peninsula. But yes, I just think that it is wonderful.
Yes.
Yes, the whale census. So we know that it
Yes.
was happening in the area. And I printed this off yesterday. So the gray whales of yesterday, the northbound ones, there were 14, so for a total of that day. The southbound ones, so this is the gray whales to date since the 1st of December, southbound 118.
Wow.
Southbound whales. Northbound whales, 225 for a total of 343.
So they're cruising around out there.
They're cruising around out there, you know, they're always far out, so I can never see them, but the spotters know.
They do.
The fluke, and they're so dedicated
They
to
know the
watching
blows. They know
Yeah.
the ones that are migrating with their babies, the moms and the babies. Yep.
Yes.
Oh, it's fascinating.
Yes.
Really fascinating.
But how much fun
Yeah.
that they have.
And what a great
Every-
way to spend your time if you're looking over the beautiful Pacific Ocean and looking for whales.
Looking for whales.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. I think that's a good retirement.
I think
You know?
that is a good retirement piece.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll keep you busy.
Yes.
You know, before we wind down,
Yep.
tell us what you're reading right now.
Oh my gosh, are we already there?
Yes.
So what am I reading right now?
Yes, what are
Hold
you
on a second.
reading?
Okay, here.
Oh, we've talked about bubbles too. Did we already talk about that?
We did talk about bubbles.
Okay, all
yeah.
right.
We did talk about bubbles.
Okay, now we're talking about what you're reading.
What we're talking about, what I'm reading, yes.
Yes.
But I did want to say this, and I think I had told you about this before, but there was a whalebone, a very big fossil, it was 400 pounds, that was discovered in Portuguese Bend. I think it was like in the early 60s, maybe late 50s. And it was over at the Malaga Cove Library. Then Peninsula Center Library opened, they moved it over to Peninsula Center. And then at some point they moved it back over to Malaga Cove. And people used to give tours and say, hey, this is our whale fossil.
Wow.
Right, but then it just kind of fell off. The poor whale fossil fell off. And it was just kind of stuck in the corner of the back patio over at Malaga Cove. And a community member called me and she said, you know, have you ever seen the whale fossil over there, the whalebone? And I said, no, I haven't. And we met and we said, we have to do something. Let's move the whale fossil bone,
Absolutely.
the rock, to a more prominent place, which we did. And I can send you pictures of moving this 400
Oh, I
pound
would love
rock.
to
Yeah,
see.
you
So
can
where
see
did they
that.
put it?
So they put it, so there is a tree planted of the back patio of Malaga Cove Library. And so
Nice.
it's right underneath the tree, and it's kind of elevated. But we are getting a bronze plaque created.
I love that. I think people would love to see that.
Yes, and so I will send you the proofs. So we
Okay,
just settled
yeah.
on the plaque for the fossil.
Very nice.
And so that will soon be out there. So
That's
you heard it here
exciting.
first, folks,
Yes,
here on
absolutely.
RPBTV, that
Yes,
you can
on
see
History
that.
on the Hill. Yes.
And I also have to give a plug out for Joe
Oh,
Koch.
yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen this book,
Yes.
but if you are interested in fossils,
Beautiful book too.
it's a gorgeous book, and he's so knowledgeable. There he is. Just love Joe Koch because he's so knowledgeable about whale fossils,
Yes.
especially on the peninsula.
Yeah.
And
they're all over.
they are all over.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
Everybody says when they go down to the shore, just if there's been a rain, you can
find them.
You can find them. Yes.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so what am I
Okay,
reading?
so yes, tell us what you're reading.
Okay, so I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I absolutely love this book, James. It takes Huckleberry Finn, and it's written by Jim, right? It's written from his point of view.
Wow.
And it is just a fascinating read. And it came to the library yesterday, and they had just finished reading it, and I had read it over December. It's a page turner. I mean, you just don't want to stop.
Oh, I love
Actually,
books
yes.
like that.
And this is a
Always
lucky
so
day
much
book.
fun.
So a lucky day book means it's your lucky day if you find it on the table, and you can check it out for 1 week. Otherwise, the books are like 2-week books or 3-week books. But
I'd
this
never
is-
heard of that before, the Lucky Day book.
And it has its own little logo. So
love that.
on a Lucky Day book, so you can come into the library. So this I'm going to take back to the Lucky Day table. So people who are interested in that, you can come
Go and pick up James and be
Go
lucky.
and pick up James. It is a great read.
I love that.
Page turner.
That's great.
Right.
And then what's going on at the library?
What's going on at the library? So I just picked up some of our flyers, as I usually do.
Yes.
I have been doing a genealogy self-promotion. It's called a genealogy drop-in.
Okay.
Where people can just come in. Our next one is going to be quarterly for this year.
April
And our-
19th?
April 19th is the
Okay.
next one.
All right.
And we just talk about what your research is and where you can find records. So, and everybody learns from each other. So it's good community genies, genealogy people who are just want to learn from each other.
That's so great.
So that's the genealogy drop-in.
Okay.
We have movies at the library.
Oh.
Sorry, last time I told you about the Crocheting in the Loop program.
Yes.
So we also have movies. So these are the ones that are coming up.
Now, do you go to the movies a lot?
You mean outdoor, like in the theater?
In the theater.
I have not been to a movie in the theater
I have
probably
not
since
either.
pandemic.
Yes.
Before the pandemic.
Me as well. I know. But this is so much fun.
And it's in the community room.
It is.
Yeah.
See, I love that.
Yeah, it's just really fun. Just
That's really
something
fun.
else to
Something
be
to
at the library.
do.
And something to do.
Yes.
And if you ever wondered about book clubs, we have the Jane Austen Book Club because this is the anniversary for Jane Austen.
Yes.
So we have the Jane Austen Book Club coming up, and so I think that'll be a lot of fun for people to take a look at. And does everybody know about the free park passes?
I don't think so, so we should tell them about that.
So we have the California State Parks. It's the Parks Passes program. And so you get free access to over 200 California state parks.
Wow.
Not federal parks, but state parks.
That's great.
And so you just come with your library card, you can check out a pass and go Zoom and visit the different parks.
How much fun is that?
I know, and it's free. I mean, you know how expensive it is to get into
Absolutely.
parks these days.
Yes.
But there's a website where you can even scan that and see which parks are there.
And so
then
all
make
you need
weekend
is a
of it.
library card?
All you need is a library card.
That is fast. That's amazing.
Yes.
Really?
And we have a whole bunch.
I love that.
Yes. So that's pretty much what's going on at the library.
Okay.
And a lot going on in the local history room.
Yes.
We invite people to come in and come see us. And of course, come to the Whale of a Day on
Yes, that's going to be on Saturday, April the 12th.
Saturday, April 12th. Okay.
From 10 to 4.
10 to
at
4.
Palos Verdes Interpretive Center. You can park here at the Kendida Civic Center. And the shuttles will take you over to Whale of a Day. So you can have a huge day of fun and just enjoy yourself.
That is so great that they have the shuttle
Yes.
buses to reduce the congestion.
Yeah, because parking is almost non-existent over there. It's very,
Yeah.
very tiny because they really take up the whole space for Whale of a Day, which is what we
Yes.
want. So
Is the lighthouse going to be open that day?
yes, the
Oh my
lighthouse
gosh.
will be. Well, the grounds will. The lighthouse is still closed, but you can go on the grounds, and there'll be tours over there.
Oh, they will be. Okay,
yes,
great.
and a museum is open over there, so it's going to be just a fun day.
It's perfect. I have never been. I mean, I've been to the grounds on the outside, but just
Yes.
looking in. But now I think I will go.
I think Monique needs to come to Whale of a Day.
I think I will. I'll come and see you.
Good. We love that. We love that. Very good. Monique, thanks so much for letting me hang out with you again today and talk about whales. That was so much fun.
God, I am so happy to hang out with you. I mean, that's just such an honor. And thank everybody out there for hanging out with us for this episode of History on the Hill. And we look forward to seeing you next time.
Are you ready for the biggest event on the Hill? It's the 40th anniversary of the Whale of a Day celebration taking place at the Point Vicente Interpretive Center on April 12th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The annual marine-themed fair has fun and games for everyone to enjoy, including live music, puppet shows, food trucks, inflatables, shopping, beer and wine, and much more. There's free parking at the Kendida Civic Center with shuttles to and from the event. Plan to spend the whole day with us and get ready for a whale of a time. For more information, you can visit whaleofaday.com. Hope to see you there.